Hey guys, James here again. This is going to be what if Naruto had pure chakra. And this one, it would be what if Naruto was a master of all chakra, but I'll go over what pure chakra is. In my point of view, actually. So, in my point of view, pure chakra is like Otsutsuki chakra. Like, they are the only beings supposed to have chakra. So I assume, because they're the only supposed to have it, while everyone else had learned how to use chakra from Hagoromo, I assume that Otsutsukis would have a different kind of chakra. Like, they can use it better than anyone else, and they cannot run out of it. Well, not they can't, but kind of Hashirama thing. Like a Hashirama or Naruto thing. Like if you make Naruto or Hashirama run out of chakra, you are a scary shinobi. And I'm pretty sure Hashirama died due to fighting for 24 hours straight. Same with the Raikage. Well, one of them. But one of the Raikages, Hashirama, they both died due to chakra exhaustion, which led to them because they were both fighting for hours on end with just themselves. Hashirama fought for 24 hours on end. I'm pretty sure this could have been against like strong, like basically just a whole ass army by himself. So probably trying to solo a strong army, and ended up with him dying due to chakra exhaustion. But I think Otsutsuki probably have more chakra. It's just Hashirama's abilities were so broken among Otsutsuki. Like no Otsutsuki could use his abilities, and besides that, some of the filler for not Indra, but for Ashura using would release. And then maybe filler, but relatively ninjutsu like that are not among Otsutsuki. Like their jutsu are not for human jutsu are not for Otsutsuki. Like, they can absorb jutsu and shoot it back out. That's really it. Well, jutsu is not specifically for the Otsutsuki. It's just more or less just chakra in general. Like, chakra fruits, chakra balls, not balls, chakra pills. Chakra pills and fruit, that's what the Otsutsuki is supposed to have, not ninjutsu. Like, the hook thing that like, Urshi can do, or, like, the eyes, that's their stuff like dojutsu, the weapon ability, that Urashiki, Urashiki, Ultra Momoshiki, and the weapon thing that Kenshiki does, plus I guess the ability that Kaguya has. Kaguya has like an exception because he was raised around ninjutsu, which Hagoromo and Hamura did. I'm pretty sure those are like the ones that use Ninshu the most. But yeah, Otsutsuki weren't really supposed to be users that use ninjutsu or Ninshu. So I assume their chakra would probably be different, so Naruto would have that different chakra. Because Ashura inherited the body of Hagoromo, but I assume the body would probably come with the chakra, as Indra did inherit the chakra as well, but having the body of the Sage of Six Paths, tell me that doesn't ring getting Otsutsuki chakra to you. So Naruto will not only get the durable body of an Otsutsuki, but now you get the chakra of one. The chakra is already dense, and, when I Google Otsutsuki chakra, it's called base chakra. Not a chakra nature, just base chakra. So, with that, and since we give Naruto the probability of having chakra at birth, not having to have awakened chakra like people do Sharingan and Byakugan, but usually people are supposed to awaken chakra like everyone does. Rock Lee has chakra. We've seen him run on water, so that counts. So everyone has chakra. It's just some people can't utilize it, or some people just don't prefer using it. Like Master Shen, I'm pretty sure not Shen. Master Chen, I'm pretty sure he just didn't prefer using it. Chen was my guy. My guy can use chakra, it's just he prefers not using it. Then Rock Lee, well, he just can't straight up use ninjutsu. He can like the chakra walk, like not chakra, but water walk and tree walk, and that's it. But we have we have Rock Lee's son who can use ninjutsu, so that shows some credit to him. But yeah, that's kind of off my rant. So Naruto can use base chakra. He has all 5 chakra natures plus yin and yang release. And now, Naruto, with having Otsutsuki chakra and just from like, the base chakra plus all 5 natures plus yin and yang, fusing with Ashura's body, Naruto right now has the potential to awaken every single Kekkei guy possible. Just probably not the Sharingan, that's about it. Actually, the eyes are basically part of the body. Ashura inherited the body. So, Naruto has potential to awaken a Rinnegan and a Sharingan, but a very low chance. Like Byakugan and other stuff, that's like more of his style. That's what gives us what stuff he'd most definitely awaken. Just Byakugan and Sharingan would be way harder to do so. So yeah. So go to Naruto when he's around 4 years old. By the time Naruto's 4, he already possesses immense strength. It's hard to cut him with kunai shuriken. Like, you can't just slash at him and then slash to do something. You know when you fall and scrape your knee? That's kind of what kunai do to Naruto. Like, yeah, it reveals you're ashy as hell, but that's about it. That's about all it does, unless you're like moving and you fall down. So, yeah. So Naruto basically just doesn't really get hurt. And the villagers fear him because he will, first off, he just shows an aptitude for knowing how to fight. He shows an aptitude for combat, which is what most Otsutsuki's are. Like, they have their own kind of ninjutsu, which they seem to all be masters of, and they don't really fight at all. They conquer different planets, and I assume most planets will be weaker than Earth because... Have you seen Naruto and Hashirama and Sasuke? I don't like Sasuke, but you can tell Sasuke's strong as hell. So, just like, I guess the weaker characters can grow insanely strong on Earth. Like, Sakura grew from, like, being weak as hell in OG Naruto to... Pretty sure in one of her light novels it said that she reached levels of speed that Night Guy possessed. Not Might, Night Guy. Which Night Guy was able to bend time and space while running. So you can guess how fast and strong Sakura is with her legs. And Sakura isn't the strongest person on Earth yet, and she can do that. Actually, no, she probably is currently, but I don't really care. She can outrun Amaterasu. Sasuke can teleport. Naruto may be able to put up a fight with Frog Kumite because he's the only one that knows it. So, yeah. Like Naruto's the only, like, Toad Sage, so he'd have the advantage over everyone. Because they don't know his abilities, and Sakura watched it from a distance in the Pain arc, but she may not know that. Plus, Naruto can't even move. Well, I don't think he can. Well, actually, wait. You see that Naruto, as an adult, mastered all jutsu in the Hidden Leaf, including Flying Raijin. He just never used it. So, yeah, never mind. Naruto's putting Sakura in a bag. But, so besides that point. So Naruto shows an aptitude for combat, like most Otsutsukis would. Plus, he has Sage's body, but... Well, he's not really fond of combat, he just has an aptitude for it, which he shows random martial art abilities. Like, oh, there's one move that's supposed to be meant for Jonin. How does Naruto know it? He doesn't know how, it just felt right. So, with this, Naruto eventually goes to the academy. Due to him having so much so much chakra, well, Colonel can't fuck with him. Like, his chakra levels are quite literally reaching Hashirama levels, and he's not even 10 yet. So, with this... Kurama doesn't know this. He cannot mess with Naruto's chakra. It's just quite literally impossible. And the chakra grows by the day. So, Naruto's able to pull off a lot of jutsu, and she proved to be the best in his class. He can overflow the classroom with clones like it's nothing. He can even do shadow clones by infusing too much chakra. The substitution, well, that's nothing. Transformation, that's nothing. So, he's able to do all this when he wants to graduate the first time, because he tried it 3 separate times. And I think you can just ask to graduate anytime to, like, say, oh, I can do the jutsu now. Try it, you fail. Then, yeah, like, if you try it and you fail, alright, too bad, you're stuck in your class. But Naruto has to do it the first time, he does it perfectly. But he still needs some knowledge, so he just try, and, well, he stays in the academy the whole time. During the second time he wants to graduate, which I assume probably wasn't much longer after the first time. But Naruto has an aptitude for a lot of stuff. Well, with his body, he has aptitude for combat. With his mind, well, still more an aptitude for combat, but it's more combat-centered. So with this, Naruto mainly does, well, he's kind of dumb, but in terms of battle, you couldn't think of anyone better to ask. Like Naruto's still canonical Naruto, but if you ask him, like, battle strategies, oh, yeah, you asked the right guy. So Naruto in terms of battle, is, like, probably the best person that can leave to ask about this, even though he hasn't been in a single war or a single normal fight. But still, he's probably one of the best people to ask. And Naruto, well, he usually wants to test out Naruto's chakra nature because he graduated the academy and he's still 5 years old. Not 5, I'll give him like 7 years old. So he graduated later than Sannin and Kakashi, but earlier than Minato. Which still, earlier than Minato and Itachi, but yeah. So with this, he's able to basically just, like, here's going to give Naruto these chakra papers, and Naruto will infuse chakra into them. When he does this, well, the first thing that happens in the first paper, well, immediately it poofs into ash. Not solely, just poofs into ash. Shocked Shirisen, because that showed his chakra for flames was so powerful. Now, immediately expected Naruto to only have, like, fire and wind, maybe. That's what the Nine Tails does. No, but no, with wind, it begins crumpling up, and then suddenly just crumples completely into a ball, and Naruto asks what else. Shirisen says, if I keep going, sure. We should know, lightning is crumpling up, so it has lightning and wind. Not lightning and fire so far, so Shirisen knows. So, that shows that Naruto does have Minato's chakra natures and genes. Well, because his appearance already. Then, second paper, he infuses chakra into it, and immediately it bursts into pieces of paper. That shows he cut it into pieces with wind chakra. Here's a shock that Naruto's just pushing these papers to their limits. Like, just Chakra's so dense and intense, it does this. If you guys remember Master Wing, I'm pretty sure that was his name, from Hunter x Hunter, how basically just put his arm against the wall, arm on a wall, and there's a fuse into the wall, and it just almost shattered. Well, Naruto Chakra is so dense, it basically just sends someone flying down to the ground. Chakra actually has mass to it. So when he does this to paper, well, it actually works. It actually works out perfectly. Paper just gets so overflowed with chakra that's dense that first paper actually gains a mass of at least 1 pound. And Naruto actually just overflows with chakra, so it just gets torn to its max power. So with this, paper's torn to pieces, shredded to pieces. So now he wants to start Earth release, and immediately, well, crumbles to dust, and eventually crumbles to atoms as it's falling to the ground. His Earth release is so powerful, it atomized something. Shujin is just purely amazed by. Next one, water. Naruto uses it, the paper immediately turns super wet, and begins tearing apart as it just falls. So, Hyusen just in sheer amazement by Naruto. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm kind of sick right now, so if you guys hear me doing like a thing, I blow my nose around 8 times in the span of an hour, and my nose is still stuffed up. I've been taking a shower, so this is just, my nose is just fucking with me right now. So, yeah, it's annoying. So, let me go to, I guess, like, I guess when Naruto's around 10 years old, that's when he's, like, probably fit to be a shinobi. Well, he's done, like, a few D-rank missions. Like, by the time Naruto was 10, he'd already done over 100 D-rank missions. He's already able to use all 5 chakra natures, like, average ninjutsu. He's already able to use yin and yang release, like, as nothing. Like, just due to him being so close to Shikamaru and Choji, Shikamaru, like, he has Shikamaru teach him shadow release, or shadow paralysis jutsu. Shikamaru just teaches Naruto, and Naruto picked it up in 1 day, and then in a year, he's the best at it, and the Naruto don't even know he has it without Shikamaru. Then same with Choji and Akamitsu clan jutsu. He can do that. He can do all their jutsu. Well, not all of them, just the one Choji showed him, or told him the basics of, and Naruto's already the best at it. They can't seem to beat him, even though they don't know he has it besides Choji and Shikamaru. And then with the Yamanaka clan jutsu, like, really the only jutsu they have is combined with their dogs. And Naruto himself just be very peaceful with animals. Like, his chakra is so overwhelming that the Nine Tails is being suppressed by Naruto without even him intentionally doing it. Plus, he's just a naturally good sensory ninja. Like, he learned how to do it just on random missions. So Naruto's already able to use to basically enhance his hearing, his smell, his sight. Besides being able to do, like, moderate level sensory ninjutsu, where you can just touch the ground with one finger and be able to sense, like, half the country out. So, Naruto's pretty broken by this time. So eventually, Naruto by the time he's 10 starts doing C rank missions. And this mission basically take out this bandit camp, or take it out, but like investigate this bandit camp. Or if you can do so, I'll give you like a B rank level of money if you take it out. And Naruto does so with little to no effort. Because Naruto's already has a high aptitude for taijutsu. He has a high aptitude for ninjutsu. Like, his ninjutsu, taijutsu, genjutsu, everything is S rank. Just the only thing that's not S rank is his intelligence. Or like just his straight up knowledge, but when it comes to battle strategies, he gets an S as well. You think of a battle strategy instantly, but anything else he's gonna suck at horribly. So yeah, Hiruzen does know this, but deems that Naruto being a shinobi, well, yes, having common intelligence would be good, it's just battle strategies would be very important regardless. So Naruto regardless is a very important shinobi. And Nine Tails is amazed at Naruto being this strong, and he's 10 years old. He does say that Hashirama, well, probably not, Hashirama, Madara, Minato, Kushino, they probably couldn't have reached this level of power by the time they were his age. And most they'd be at least like mid-teens before they can even do this stuff. So, yeah. Now this we'd have Naruto, who eventually just, by the time he's 12 and he's had to be assigned to a Genin team, they're actually being pretty dumb. Well, Shikamaru does help Naruto a bit, so Naruto's intelligence is actually he's not average, but he's not super dumb. Smarter than Kiba, at least, that's it. Naruto still has to basically be on Team 7, and, yeah. On Team 7, well, Sakura and Sasuke were questioning Naruto's on the team and not tuning yet. He says he doesn't want to take the tuning exams. He wants to do the tuning exams with the highest ninja record ever. Because Naruto did him actually advancing C ranks to B ranks, like, let's get this bandit camp. And Naruto will quite literally burn it down with no casualties and arrest everyone there. Or like, oh, investigate this shinobi group. He'll take them all down and then arrest them. Like, he's just doing B rank things on C rank missions. So Naruto already has a level of around 300 D ranks, around 100 C ranks, and around 60 B ranks. So Naruto already has a high record of jobs. And Kakashi does know this. So Naruto's already pretty impressive to him. And Naruto only has so much so much D ranks because, well, carrying groceries is a light task. You can make shadow clones that can do this for him. Then he can wipe out every single D rank they have in one day. He can do that over the course of a week. So, yeah, pretty impressive. Yeah, but Kakashi will still bring him up to the roof, ask likes and dislikes. Naruto doesn't really hate anything, and he doesn't really like anything. He's like, kind of just depends on my mood of the day. Some days I won't like ramen. Well, that's a lie. I'll always like ramen. So I guess my likes are just ramen. Patrick Blake. Alright, so Naruto just says his only like is ramen, his dream. Well, he doesn't really have a dream. But just seeing, I guess, how the world is. Well, one thing that he just sees how the world is, I guess would probably just be make sure the world is like kind of dreams of a world that Boruto's in, like make a world of peace. There's no need for wars, no need for shinobi villages to fight each other. There's a world of complete peace, like the perfect world, a dream world, if you could say, a infinite Tsukuyomi. He doesn't say infinite Tsukuyomi, but well, that's what it would be if in Naruto's mind, infinite Tsukuyomi. And well, with this, Kakashi does actually appreciate Naruto's dreams. But he does actually, Kakashi does but in telling Naruto that everything Naruto has is S rank, just not his intelligence, and actually questions why. But Naruto does say it's just, well, he can use every single nature release and a few clan-only jutsu that aren't even from his clan. Which shocks Kakashi, as he displays Shadow Paralysis jutsu and Akinichi clan jutsu. So yeah. So yeah, now we can just go to like probably just their first mission. The first mission, Hiruzen just tells Kakashi that Naruto's already done this, so Naruto can sit out if he wants. So Naruto sits out, and this mission is Hiruzen will give Naruto a B rank, and Naruto would head off. But Sasuke immediately would yell he wants to go with Naruto, but Kakashi's like, no, Sasuke, you have to come with us. Naruto's done over 20 B ranks already. You're not ready for this. Which shocks Sasuke and Sakura. He's already done over 20 B ranks. Sasuke would immediately demand to know how many missions Naruto's done. When he hears these, well, this even makes Hiruzen say, and the amount of time he did it, he's done more than Itachi has in this amount of time. Even Kakashi. And Kakashi says, how long has he been a shinobi? Like, what, 3 years? 2-3 years? Here's what I'm saying. I think he's approaching 4. Well, you should know he's 12 by now, so I thought he was 10 for a second, so. He's like 7 when he became a shinobi, so 3, 4, yeah, almost 5 years. Which amazes Sasuke, because in B ranks alone, he's almost at 500. Not B ranks, I mean, at D ranks alone, he's almost at 500. But then his C ranks, some of them are converted into B ranks of how he does them. So, yeah. So with this, we basically just go to like a week after this. Naruto volunteers to send a clone out on the missions with them so they can finish really early and do some training, which Kakashi actually does recommend. Like, let's talk about Sasuke saying he needs to learn how to use a Sharingan. Sakura can actually do some training as she's lagging behind physically. Turns out intelligence, she's the one that's ahead of them all. But not Kakashi, but she can still learn a bit. So Naruto's going to clone with this group, and this clone's able to complete the mission in, well, minutes. That should take hours or days. So Sasuke actually appreciates this because the longest mission they've done in the past month, it was 12 minutes, the longest mission. And they've had to travel a lot longer distance. So, yeah. This time, due to Naruto making the mission a lot shorter, well, Sasuke and Kakashi have done but they've done training together that will first consist of Sharingan training. Which Sasuke's pretty pissed about. Well, not first, but Sharingan training is like one of the main bases. But first, they all had to learn Chakra control, which Naruto already knew. So he can use ninjutsu. So what do you expect? Sakura and Sasuke learn how to water walk and tree walk. Sasuke learns from Naruto. Sakura learns from Kakashi. Naruto does teach Sasuke how to. Well, first they learn how to tree walk, then teach Sasuke how to water walk. Then Sakura will learn from Kakashi. But now Sasuke and Sakura switch teachers, as Sasuke will learn Sharingan training from Kakashi. Sakura will learn Taijutsu from Naruto. and actually begins teaching her battle strategies, hoping her vast intelligence can improve them somewhat. They really can't because they're top tier battle strategies, but she's able to dumb them down to where they're perfect for Genin, even for tuning. As not battle strategies, they fit everyone, but Sakura makes these strategies specific so they fit their team. So it works out really well for them all in general. So yeah. So with this, we'd have Naruto, who would probably just probably just train Sakura with like taijutsu as well. So Sakura will learn taijutsu as well and do pretty good at it. By the time the Land of Waves arc would begin, well, Sasuke already has one Tomoe Sharingan, one Tomoe in one eye, two Tomoe in the other. Sakura is already at least like low Genin with not low Genin, I mean low tuning with taijutsu, which is very impressive regardless. Also, did encourage her to not like. He did say that one of the things holding her back is chasing Sasuke because she strives to basically, I guess, I don't know. I don't want to say it. Pause real quick. Alright, so, when Dwayne's mission comes, Naruto did discourage Sakura from, like, chasing Sasuke, saying her love for him did hold her back a lot, and that if she were to basically let go of some of the love and more or less put the energy she has for Sasuke into training, she'd become one of the more elite shinobi of Konoha. And Sakura is just like, I'll never stop loving Sasuke. What Naruto would then say, alright, fine, but I doubt he'll date a weak woman. And you're pretty weak right now, so I'll just train Sasuke with Kakashi. Immediately Sakura's like, wait, I'll train with you. And Sakura does actually reluctantly will just reduce some of her love for Sasuke by putting that effort into training. And she does remember that all this was actually helping her a lot, because you're already able to actually, punch the ground hard enough to actually make a big crack in it, or at least a big crater. Not like Tsunade levels of strength, or Shippuden Sakura levels of strength, but pretty big. So, yeah. With this, and then the Waves mission. But when Tasuno does meet Team 7, he feels intimidating pressure from everyone, and especially Naruto and Sasuke. Sasuke, he's been taught to actually channel his emotions into his power, and that, first, one thing Kakashi told him is that Uchihas, they follow one path, and that path of, not one path, but they have some stronger emotions. One of the stronger emotions basically being love, another one being hate. That Sasuke's following the hatred one, as whenever Inicha falls into hate, never ends well. Not wanting to reveal, actually, I don't think Kakashi knows the secret, still saying that Tachi may have fallen into this curse of hatred and made him push Tachi to doing what happened to the clan. And Sasuke not wanting to end up like Itachi, will actually try to fall out of the curse of hatred, and must find anything he's grateful for. And it turns out some of the stuff is being Sakura. Just Sakura, Naruto, Kakashi, that's some of the stuff that he's actually grateful for, and that removes some of his hatred. So yeah. So we basically just go to the mission. Next day, Naruto has a giant backpack, and doesn't know question what it is, and why it's so big. Naruto would just say, clothing for everyone, food, water, you name it. Spins the backpack, and suddenly it turns into a squirrel, and they keep on walking. Tasuno don't question this, but Sasuke just says, he gives a brief rundown of what just happened, because Tasuno is like, it was not a transformation jutsu, I've seen those before. And I'll explain to you what it is as well. Naruto, when he's in the academy, he already knew every single jutsu they told him to do. He mastered it pretty easily. But then he stayed in the academy an extra 2 years. So, not 2 years, like an extra, and then again, an extra 2 years. So he's had those 2 years to master every single academy jutsu, and had those extra few years not being able to use proper ninjutsu to master these jutsu further. The transformation jutsu can pass as a real object. Like, you can transform an object, you won't transform back for years on end. Like, you can transform a person or transform himself, and he can hold the jutsu up for years. So, yeah. So the scroll basically just turn it into an actual scroll temporarily, and then he can poof it back to a backpack whenever he wants to. But the scroll kind of makes the stuff he has inside more easily accessible. He also kind of just covers up Tasuno's body. So, yeah. So with this, we basically go to when they come to the Demon Brothers. Sakura can already sense it and actually call them out. Sasuke can as well. Kakashi and Naruto already just knew something was up. They didn't really think again jutsu first. They kind of thought it was just weird. But immediately Demon Brothers pop out when Sakura calls them out. And Sakura punches one right in the face full force, knocking out all their teeth and breaking their jaw. Well, Sasuke would just stab the other one right in the back with the kunai, and that brother just falls over unconscious. But now, one really can't really properly speak anymore, and the other one may die, so Naruto just heals him using basic medical ninjutsu. So I'm teaching Sakura that, as Naruto he's more of a battle shinobi, and yes, healing ninjutsu is useful, it's just not something he likes to do. And Sakura seems like she want to be useful, so taking Naruto's place as a healer could be something really good. So yeah, so Sasuke will use his Sharingan to like kind of just like, so to say, interrogate the Demon Brothers. Sasuke covers up his Sharingan with 220 in it, and constantly keeps it active, just to basically test out his power. That's really what he does. Just test out his chakra growth and trains while it's active constantly. And actually does give him massive increases. Now, he can't keep it active for more than 4 hours at a time, but still, he's working farther, and it works pretty well. So now basically just go to like Naruto, who would just, I think encounter Zabuza and Haku, probably the next major point. Now this next major point, we basically just have Naruto, who would like, I don't know. It's Zabuza throwing the sword. Of the bunny, Naruto kept an eye out for more genjutsu. And well, Naruto actually able to quickly like just discover it was a genjutsu and break it, but as he breaks it, the sword's come like flying right at them. But Naruto steps in front of Kakashi and catches the blade with just his bare hand out. His hand bleeds a bit, but not a lot. Really, Zabuza appears trying to pull the hilt away from Naruto, trying to pull the sword away from Naruto by grabbing like the handle of it, so to say. But he can't just pull it off Naruto. But suddenly Naruto begins squeezing as the blade just gained one giant crack down the middle. Then the blade finally just shattered. That was in shock as Naruto chuckled, saying, "Get your blade was too weak to handle my chakra." As Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke, well, they knew that Naruto would use chakra into things to basically just shatter it or just make it weird to say. But what happened is basically that Naruto had he just used chakra into it, and chakra was so dense that it basically broke the blade. Like it was so heavy, the blade shattered. So with this, basically, Zabuza attacked Naruto, trying to use the remnants of his blade. Pause real quick. So Naruto just proceeds to like, I guess, well, first off, Zabuza tries to attack Naruto, cutting him, but Zabuza can't retake the blade on his own. He has to use Naruto's blood. Immediately, what Naruto does, the one the blade swings at him, I guess the shambles of it at the very end of it, so comes at him. Well, Naruto will touch it and infuse more chakra into it, completely shattering the blade in general. Which makes Zabuza's jaw drop, as the legendary sword was completely destroyed and no longer of use. He doubts even getting Naruto's blood on it could repair it. So with this, Zabuza kind of panics, pulling out two kunai, but Naruto appears in front of him, hitting him in the chest, full force, and breaking all of his ribs. Zabuza spits out blood, but Haku attacks Naruto, just thinking that he might have killed Zabuza or critically injured him. As Naruto turns to Otaku, he just smiles. Suddenly, Haku's hit in the back. Okay, he's hit from the back. Pause. By Sakura. Sakura slams her fist in Haku's spine and almost shatters it, or breaks it, but she doesn't quite yet do it because she's holding back. Haku hits the ground, he coughs up blood, and can't really move. But it's kind of a temporary thing. It'll go back to normal like an hour or two. Zabuza does eventually succumb to his wounds, and eventually Haku does get enraged and rush at Naruto. But Sasuke just sends her to Naruto, slashing Haku's head off cleanly. So, yeah. It was a pretty easy thing, but still was kind of sad. So, I guess I'll just step over to... I don't know. Think about this. I'm gonna think about this real quick. So Zabuza and Haku are dead, and now they head to the land of waves. They head there. Zabuza and Haku's corpses are just left behind. Well, actually, no, probably not. Naruto has at least some respect for them. So does Kakashi. So they bury them. Then they leave at the land of waves. Well, Tazuna seems very carefree, which just confused the guy giving them a ride, but Tazuna explains that, well, two of the main shinobi that Gato hired have been killed, which makes the boatman like very happy. He even runs into town screaming, saying, we're safe. In the village's question what happened, and Tazuna explains what Naruto and Sasuke both did. Naruto actually feels bad about killing Zabuza, as he didn't sense any evil in Zabuza. It was just, well, it was a necessity. They didn't have any money, and something that needed to happen. Zabuza needed to get money, and, well, fighting was the option. Or assassination was. So Naruto just proceeds to like, it's probably just going through village and just be able to help out a lot. He's able to have a lot of clones make the bridge pretty easily. So by the time it's been like a day or two, the whole bridge is finished, painted. They even have a few arrangements set up to travel. This leads to Gato coming in a lot earlier, and there's no training for Team 7 currently, besides Sasuke doing his basic Sharingan training, and Naruto doing his basic Taijutsu training with Sakura. So with this, well, first off, Naruto actually able to fix Naruto's attitude by inviting him to train with Sakura and him, and meditation is something that actually calms down Inari, which is shocking to Inari, but Inari finds out what's wrong with himself, and how he should have been acting. So with this, well, it works out a lot, and Inari does thank Naruto for calming his state of mind. So if this Naruto even teaching Inari a bit of, like, just how to use chakra in general, and does teach Inari how to do this, well, Inari doesn't have a lot of chakra, so he isn't able to do too much, but he's able to learn tree walking at least. So now then we move on to just Gato's been arriving, seeing that Tao's isn't dead, and questions about up in Zabuza and Haku, and Naruto explains he killed Zabuza and Sasuke killed Haku. Immediately Gato with chuckle saying, "Now those weaklings got killed by a bunch of kids. Disgraceful." He sends guards to attack Naruto, Sasuke, and basically all of Konoha. Not all of Konoha, I mean, all of Land Waves. First person to get near Naruto put his hands on their chest, and uses chakra to basically just weigh them down. Immediately the person is basically crushed, and blood splatters everywhere. Naruto, hearing Zabuza and Haku called weak, is something that he did not respect. Zabuza and Haku are actually genuinely good people. He sensed it. And this is something that pissed him off, because they're being called weaklings and, well, just stupid. So he killed the first guy, looked at Sasuke, Kakashi, and Sakura, saying he'd appreciate it if they looked away. So they do just that. Then Naruto pulls out one kunai, look around, they look back at Naruto for like 5 minutes, saying all Gato's men's blood and guts splattered everywhere. Gato has a kunai right through his skull. Naruto got pretty upset, but still, it helped. Naruto being crying that, well, Naruto is basically just censoring ninjutsu. He's a lot more in tune with emotions. Plus Kurama, because he can now just basically forge out that chakra like it's nothing. So sensing emotions is something that he's very in tune with. So he feels a lot more of a connection with people when he uses that. So it actually feels very bad for Zabuza and Haku that he even crying. With this despair or heavy set of emotions, eventually he does awaken his Byakugan. Awakens it in one eye, and she can just like looks in reflection of blood, seeing the Byakugan. But immediately, he's able to deactivate it, and he heads back to Kakashi, and they end up leaving Land Waves a week later. They arrive back. Well, Naruto brings the remnants of the executioner's blade himself, and brings Haku's mask. He already had them, but didn't build them, put it back together. So Naruto, by the time he gets back in his house, well, basically bites down on his thumb, and puts a little bit of blood on the blade pieces and the hilt pieces, and the hilt comes back together. The blade is on its way there slowly. But then, Naruto will just actually end up stabbing his hand completely, like driving it through the kunai, pours the blood all over his desk, with where the blade is, and the blade's completely reformed. With Naruto's basically just really dense and powerful chakra, the blade is more powerful than ever, even outmatching Samehara. In terms of durability, in terms of power, well, plus it actually can be fueled with tailed beast power now, and now Naruto will make the normal state of the blade. Well, it needs tailed beast power to actually just basically, not doesn't need it, but tailed beast power is how the blade should operate, basically. So this basically should go on to like, let's pause one more time. So Naruto just proceeds to, just rebuild Executioner's blade and make it a lot stronger. As when Naruto infuses tailed beast chakra into it, the blade slims down kind of like a Bankai. So that's kind of what it does. They just turn into a Bankai. Ichigo's blade gets a lot slimmer, gets a new hilt and everything. So what Naruto's blade does, or the Ichigo's blade does when it's infused with chakra. Naruto renames the blade, or rebrands it, as the Nine-Tailed, the Fang of the Nine-Tails, or the Claw of the Nine-Tails. I think Claw's cooler, so the Claw of the Nine-Tails. So this is Naruto named his sword. And when he infuses chakra, tailed beast chakra, or Kurama chakra, the blade will then kind of just get a deeper tone. It kind of looks like a Nichiren blade, just the hilt is orange. Plus, when Naruto slashes, just a red slash comes out of nowhere and can cut you in half cleanly. It can cut steel in half cleanly. And then Naruto using Haku's mask, well, you know how Rimuru has Shizue's mask, or Shizue, I forgot her full name, but Shizu, he has her mask. Naruto kind of has honors Haku's with spirit by wearing that mask. Do not know them, but something their emotions like Karin can do with Chakra. Well, he knew how good a pupil Haku was, and just keeps the mask out of respect for Haku. But with this, we just go to Naruto, who would I guess, just train using the sword, and gets pretty attack in depth really fast. Even able to cut a boulder in half on the first day without using any chakra. Just his sheer physical strength and somehow technique is able to do that. So with this, we would basically just go to shooting exams for Konohamaru, so it's picked on by Kankuro, and Naruto still saves him. But not when they start trouble, he just basically walks away after pulling Konohamaru away from Kankuro. But I guess when they go into the entrance exam place, so immediately, instead of Sasuke being attacked, it's Naruto. Naruto blocks Rock Lee's punch and sends him flying with a simple palm strike. Not flying, but sliding back. Rock Lee was able to block it, but his chest hurts like hell. Now Rock Lee would say his chest is burning, as he looks at his suit, and there's a singe mark on it. And like Naruto didn't palm strike him, he simply just poked him with 2 fingers. And he saw Naruto's fingers had a bit of fire on them. And Naruto just blows his fingers, and well, Naruto basically hit Rock Lee with 2 fingers, shooting out a small fireball, sending Rock Lee flying but sliding back. Rock Lee demands that Naruto fights him, only using taijutsu, which Naruto says that Rock Lee is too weak for that. Rock Lee thinks Naruto's just being an asshole like Neji, so he attacks Naruto. But Rock Lee quickly realizes that Naruto is actually better than him at taijutsu, and Rock Lee dares to say he's better than my guy. Immediately, Rock Lee is just basically bitch slapped by Naruto, because Naruto got bored and just bitch slapped Rock Lee. Rock Lee falls to the ground, spitting out blood and 2 teeth. Naruto would say, when you lose teeth over 5% power, what kind of baby are you? A baby in Sakura can kick your ass. Immediately, Tenten would jump down, saying, "Oh, really? How about team versus team, then?" Naruto ended up bowing, he's like, "Sure, why not?" And immediately, Sasuke would line up in front of Neji, realizing his Genjutsu, but kick a Genkai. And Sasuke would activate a Sharingan, showing 2 Tomoe in one eye, 3 Tomoe in the other. I'll say Sharingan are constantly, they're going to be just weird from now on for me. They're kind of like that pattern. Sasuke's covering 6 Tomoe Sharingan, revealing his 2 Tomoe Sharingan. And then says that Neji will see why the Uchiha are superior to the Hyuga. Neji would dash at Sasuke using Gentle Fist. My guy Kakashi is only letting this go on because it's interesting. But Neji begins using taijutsu against Sasuke. When Sasuke realizes this is so slow that he doesn't even need a Sharingan. It proves that just by doing it, but activating Sharingan and attacking Neji. And just eventually puts Neji in a t-shirt, but Neji should be on a t-shirt at this point. He's been punched, kicked, slapped, chopped so many times he's coughing up blood, and a few bones look broken. But Tenten versus Sakura, that fight didn't even last 5 seconds. Sakura clearly just blitzed Tenten and punched her right in the throat, so fast, not hard, but fast, she would pass out from lack of air. So yeah, then Rock Lee versus Naruto, Rock Lee powered up to the 2nd gate, and attacked Naruto, but Naruto betrayedly punches him through a wall, and Rock Lee's unconscious. My guy's most interested that Naruto punched Rock Lee faster than Rock Lee could move, while Rock Lee was even in the 2nd gate. My guy would ask Kakashi was about, and Kakashi would explain that Naruto's stronger than him even. This shocks my guys when Kakashi reveals all of Naruto's skills that he's seen, and well, my guy then knows that Rock Lee never stood a chance anyway. Naruto in terms of battle intellect is the smartest person in Leaf in Kakashi's eyes. He knew that Naruto was probably even better than the Hokage himself, which is not wrong. So yeah, but we would have basically all the Hidden Leaf teams reuniting once Neji, Tenten, and Lee are awake. Naruto heals them all pretty easily at that. Well, Sakura heals Tenten because she did that herself, but Naruto ends up healing Neji and Lee. When they wake up, well, first off, the Hidden Leaf teams begin talking, and well, everyone would notice that basically the team, Shikacho team, they're a lot stronger. It's really because, well, Shikamaru, he's best friends with Naruto, and Naruto's like a strategist, just a strategist among strategists, he's a god of it. Shikamaru's actually able to learn how to do this pretty well. He's better than Sakura even, and Sakura's pretty damn good at it. Choji's a lot better with taijutsu, even hand seals. Actually, he's around A rank with those. Choji's more or less built like a sumo wrestler. He looks fat, but no, he's just insanely muscular and strong. So yeah, with this, basically, well, Shikacho, they're one of the strongest getting teams. And not surprisingly, but Naruto's team is first. Surprisingly, Shikacho trio is second, and third, Might Guy's team. Even if Lee has the gate, well, Choji's so damn durable, he can basically take like a knife head on, and it won't pierce his skin unless you use Chakra to enhance your strength and drive it in. So, yeah. Choji's like a gigantic iron balloon. That's really it. But, yeah, so the test. On writing, well, Naruto's actually able to use Sensory Ninjutsu to find the outlines of people, first their auras or their chakra signatures, and copy their hand movements used by just basically analyzing their outlines. When he does that, well, it works out pretty well. And doesn't really get all of them right. Like oh yeah, question 1 through 10, he gets like a 5 out of 10, which is like half of it right. So with this, eventually the exam ends with Anko bursting through the window. Anko bursts through the window. Well, she still explains the whole like force of death thing. So those connect Naruto, but he dodges like it's nothing. So focusing on whatever he was focused on in canon. But at this point, I'm probably just going to say he'd probably focus on what ramen he's going to eat for dinner when he gets back from the exams. Eventually, his team gets a heaven scroll. They head through the forest. Naruto still walk off, take a piss. But this time, well, the shinobi team he encounters are beaten half to death. And their scroll happens to be a heaven scroll as well, so he doesn't take it. He leaves it behind because they have a heaven scroll themselves, and they don't need heaven. They need earth. They keep going through the forest. They encounter Orochimaru. They encounter him. Well, no one seems scared. Sasuke even just looked at the giant snake and quite literally shoved his hand right through its head with just sheer strength with chakra. So this ends up killing the snake immediately as Orochimaru is fighting Sasuke with Taijutsu. Sasuke even has to use this bolt Sharingan to fight Orochimaru. Orochimaru notice that Sasuke's already a 320 in one eye, which is pretty shocking but impressive. Now Orochimaru would jump back and try to just use his just shoot his neck at Sasuke. Sakura stabs him right in the chest, just dash at him, stabbing him in the chest and kicking him away. Orochimaru shocked that Sakura is that fast, but as he's falling from the gun out of his chest, he would hear the sound of a Chidori as it comes right at him. But he's barely able to dodge it, getting his face pretty badly cut, and it's a deep one at that. You can see his skull. But as Orochimaru lands, he realizes that he landed on something really sharp because he feels it piercing his spine. But looks like Naruto holding up a sword, and Orochimaru had basically went right through it. Naruto chuckled, and until Chakra had left the sword, now the sword expands, and the Executioner's Blade will exit the form of the Claw of the Nine Tails now into the Executioner's Blade, and that kind of cut up Orochimaru even more, or split him open wider. Orochimaru would cough up blood, screaming in pain, and Naruto was pulling the sword out of him, kicking him in the face, and which knocked him out hard. The kick was hard to knock him out, so let's keep moving. Because Naruto didn't find a scroll on him at all, so he's something that Orochimaru just split off from his team. So with this, they don't pay any mind to Orochimaru, so he didn't even show his face yet. Kind of thought he was just some random strong guy. But with this, they counter Team Dosu. And when they counter Team Dosu, well, Dosu attacks Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura. Well, first Dosu attacks Naruto, Zaku attacks Sasuke, and Kino attacks Sakura. And when Kino throws a Senbone, Sakura catches it, throws it back at double the speed, hitting her right in the shoulder. Sakura just attacks towards her, punching her in the stomach, full force, sending her flying through the forest. As Kino hits a tree, she passes out unconscious. And, it's not what Sakura did, questioning the strength. But then they see Naruto fighting Dosu. Naruto's somehow moving faster than sound without even thinking about it. But eventually Naruto would end up using Executioner's Blade to cut Dosu in half, killing him. It was Sasuke versus Zaku. Zaku was put on a t-shirt quickly, very quickly. Plus his remains splattered all over his t-shirt, so, yeah. But he knows up and have an Earth Scroll till they move on in the span of around 2 hours. With this, they open the scroll, you still get Iruka. Iruka applauds them. Now they have to wait 5 days for the exam to get the preliminaries to start. Sasuke will keep training his Sharingan, and Naruto should be training his Byakugan secretly. And Naruto actually able to pick up Gentle Fist pretty fast, so it works out pretty well. The opponents stay the same, because, well, which no, they don't. Keen's unconscious in the forest somewhere, Zaku's dead, Dosu's dead. So let's say Shino would fight, Shino would probably have to fight Kabuto, and Kabuto, let's say he let Shino win by just basically saying he has no chakra, so Shino beat him pretty easily. With Dosu, he's with Dosu versus Choji. Well, Choji would probably end up having to fight at least Orochimaru's team is still in the picture, so one of them and he one-shots them. So yeah, let's say it was only Orochimaru and one teammate. So, only that one teammate from his team. Orochimaru's hiding in the shadows. But Naruto versus Kiba. Kiba's actually fearful because Naruto versus Academy a lot earlier. So when Naruto going all out, he gets punched right in the face, and Naruto's grabbed by the neck, and Kiba's just punched in the face. This leads to Kiba being knocked out, Naruto kind of pissing himself in fear. Sasuke beats his opponent like it's nothing. Sakura knocks out Ino in one punch. That she abandoned her love for Sasuke by fueling that love and power into, not love and power, but the love and energy into fighting. And this is what she can do now. Well, with these words, Ino had to quickly realize that loving Sasuke was holding her back, like Shikamaru and Choji had told her. What Naruto told Choji is basically like, well, Choji, there's good food that's healthy for you, but give you really good benefits and health. Choji looked into that, it was true. He didn't think that healthy food could taste good, because he only had salads, and they said the endoses taste like shit unless you make it yourself. So, yeah. And Shikamaru, who should encourage to basically get stronger, so he doesn't have to do as much in a battle. So, make sure you can win a battle in seconds, then you can dose off the rest of the battle, which Shikamaru would greatly encourage himself to do. So that's how he just does his stuff. So we basically just go to I guess that would end it. One with the training, Naruto meets Jiraiya the same way, but Jiraiya when he tests Naruto to catch him, well, Naruto catches him in 1 minute. He sends out thousands of clones out of the village, and he knows the secret of the shadow clone. So when he sends out thousands, they all just poof away if they can't find Jiraiya or they find clones. One clone finds Jiraiya, and it poofs, and Naruto knows where he is. Well, Jiraiya would just try to just say, that kid's clone couldn't last long. But suddenly in front of him appears Naruto, and Naruto basically grabs Jiraiya by the neck and says, I caught you. Red says Naruto can know the secret of shadow clones, and he poofed the clone on his own. So Jiraiya is just in shock. And then first, Naruto knows the secret of shadow clones, but also that Naruto was that fast. And it couldn't have been Bob Body Flicker or Flying Raijin, so he questions what that was. So with this, first Jiraiya does try to do summoning training, but Naruto gets that down in the instant. He already summons the executioner's blade like it's nothing. He has a whole a whole seal for it just drawn into his hand. Or sketched into his hand, not like carved or anything, but it's sketched onto his palm. So the summoning does that pretty easily. Sometimes on Bunta first try, and Bunta will basically just look at the stronger Chakra signature being Naruto. Just does know that Naruto summoned him. Naruto and Bunta go along immediately. Now Naruto has to learn Naruto Tengon because in 1 minute he did summoning jutsu. So, yeah. So for the whole month he practiced his Rasengan, and he got it down in 1 week in canon. But now he has the Otsutsuki base chakra. Most all have chakra natures, and there's actually a useful prodigy in this one. So with this, well, Naruto is able to basically make a Rasengan in the span of 4 days, then perfect it on day 6. So now he has to infuse chakra into it, and he does that effortlessly. Using space chakra, the Rasengan already expands the size of a Sage Art Rasengan, and that Rasengan itself, it just has sheer so much power, it creates Tsunade levels of power in that one little Rasengan. Not one little, but basically imagine 8 Tsunades in one, and then imagine the damage that Rasengan can do to you. That's kind of what it does. Just 8 Tsunades in one person. Or one being. That's Naruto's Rasengan. His regular Rasengan alone is already stronger than Tsunade. But then we go to his wind release Rasengan that's already plenty powerful. It's as strong as canonical Sage Art Rasengan now in this one. Then we have his vanishing Rasengan, which I put as probably Boruto's level. With his water release Rasengan, kind of just hits you, and then you put in a water prison jutsu once you're sent flying back. Oh, that Rasengan hit me. But then the moment you try to catch your breath, you put in water prison jutsu, and you basically just drown a lot faster because you got hit in the chest or face by a water release Rasengan. Fire release is basically just a giant fireball being thrown at you. With earth release, thrown at you, and then as it hits you, you feel like you were just hit by a boulder, chest on. So yeah, then as it hits you just multiple other daggers of rock hit you. So yeah. Naruto's fight versus Neji. Well, Neji just gets his shit rocked. That's honestly it. The moment the fight starts, Naruto would just use his Byakugan from the start, and Neji's shocked by this. Everyone is. But Neji gets the hands with the utmost disrespect. Naruto has had his Byakugan for a little less than 3 months, and he's already giving Neji the hands. With this, by the time he's done, Neji's on the ground begging for mercy as his body is just in agony. So, yeah. With this, Neji ends up basically just losing. Sasuke versus Gaara, we'll go over that. Well, I guess with the whole thing for Kabuto, he forfeited his match, so I guess the fights would stay the same, it's just Sakura's included now, so let's say Sakura would fight, say for Sasuke, Sakura, and Gaara, that's his fight. Gaara does know Sasuke, he thinks that Sakura and Sasuke might team up, but they do know that they cannot team up together, because, it'd be pretty unfair. So immediately Sakura punch the ground, just for both directions, making a giant crater, or just crack fly towards them. Sasuke jumps in the air, throwing electric kunai at Sakura, and then Sakura catches it, throwing it at Gaara, and she stabs Gaara's sand. Now Sasuke can tell from that just one result, Gaara's weakness is lightning. So he appears on Sakura, hitting her in the back of the neck, basically knocking her out. But then charging a Chidori, full of power. During the time with Kakashi doing 1 month, he basically learned Chidori Senbon and so on and so forth. And her and I trained Chakra Genjutsu, so that's what she did. So Sakura got Genjutsu training for the 1 month. But yeah. Sasuke would basically stab through Gaara's defense using a Chidori, but then use Chidori Senbon to basically stab Gaara like 3 times. So Gaara still goes like berserk into Shukaku, and immediately they get like attempts like subdue Shukaku. But Naruto holds up his hand saying he'll do it himself. And means following Shukaku's rampage. Which immediately here's one question Kakashi, but Kakashi's like, no, he can do it himself pretty easily at that. Like it's nothing. And Sasuke will just kill random shinobi that attack him first. So with Hiruzen, well, Sasuke actually saves Hiruzen by using a Chidori on the barrier and basically able to make a giant hole in it. So now Sasuke and Hiruzen versus Orochimaru. Well, Naruto versus Shukaku. And the fight happens. What it really takes is just Naruto using some basic ceiling ninjutsu from the Uzumaki. He knows how to do this. I wouldn't be surprised though. So let's say the 8-trigram seal could probably work. He used 8-trigram seal in Gaara, basically enhancing the seal, which is possible, and sealing Shukaku in Gaara's gut. But the seal so suppressed that Shukaku can't even make an ounce of the chakra appear. But Gaara just simply reverts back to his human form, and Naruto explains the hate he suffered, even worse because he fought back. So yeah. But now we go to probably just Sasuke and Hiruzen versus Orochimaru. Well, Orochimaru summoned Tobirama and Hashirama, and Tobirama was just in amazement that an Uchiha is helping the Hokage. Hiruzen, nonetheless, was a student of the Senju. Now, while Tobirama was just amazed by this, Hiruzen says that he's the last Uchiha alive, one of the stronger ones left alive. Sasuke, even as a child, is stronger than most adult Uchiha. As it's not a lie currently, Sasuke is probably one of the strongest Uchiha to ever live with his power. Sasuke now has 2-3 Tomoe Sharingan and isn't even 14 yet. At most, he's 13. And Tobirama actually questions Sasuke's age, and he says it, and that shocks Hashirama and Tobirama. But Tobirama doesn't have time to be amazed, as he just uses a Darkness Genjutsu. But immediately the Genjutsu is broken by Naruto and Sakura teaming up. And Sakura will basically punch a piece like a giant piece of wood, and it gets really badly cracked. But then Naruto sends a clone to help her and Tobirama, help her and Hiruzen. Hiruzen just fights through the clone in tandem, and they're doing pretty well. Naruto himself means fighting Tobirama, and to Tobirama's shock, he's being outmatched. Eventually, he sends a water dragon at Naruto, but Naruto's able to quite literally activate his Bakugan, and you guys may not know this, but Jutsu has chakra points. Jutsu is just pure chakra. So they have chakra points or chakra levels, and Naruto's able to disable the whole Jutsu himself. But then he's close enough to Tobirama to use a 1-inch punch at full power. Using Tobi's chakra, of course. Who knows that? Immediately Tobirama's vessel just blows apart. Naruto will find the kunai and break it, and that basically frees Tobirama's soul. With Hashirama, while the clone is able to negate all the wood using insanely powerful fire release, which leaves Hiruzen combining it with Naruto's, and they're able to somewhat burn away Hashirama's vessel, and Sakura will grab the kunai, erasing the name on it, and not erasing it, but tearing it off, and Hashirama reverts back to just a soul as it disappears, and now Orochimaru wants to kill Hiruzen, but Sasuke negates it by basically slashing Orochimaru across the eyes, and he has to escape because he's blind now. This Kunai Crush is basically ended in the span of around 10 minutes, because Gaara is taken down in less than 5, so not 10 minutes, probably 20 at most, but yeah. And that's not an idea of evil. It's just Hiruzen doesn't want to be Kage anymore, he feels incompetent, so new Kage in order. New Kage still be Tsunade, but when Naruto encounters Itachi and Kisame, when he doesn't counter them, it's a complete one-sided fight. Naruto overwhelms Kisame immediately with the fang, or with the claw of the Nine Tails, So immediately, well, Kisame tries to block the attack. No, Samehada slapped right out of his hand, and then he's stabbed in the chest, being killed. So Naruto picks up Samehada, not being phased by it at all. Samehada accepts Naruto, so Naruto is basically going dual wield with the Executioner's Blade and the Shark Skin Blade. And Itachi can't use Genjutsu on Naruto because he breaks out of it immediately, so there's no really use of fighting Naruto. Itachi has to escape. Jiraiya arrives, sees Kisame dead with the blade wound obviously through his heart. But then, like a day or two later, they find Tsunade. Naruto has like the same reaction when she says the Hokage is a job for fools. But then when Naruto's trying to make the bet, she says, "Alright then, rest of Rasengan in 1 week, then I'll fight you." And what Naruto does is pull out her Rasengan and hit Tsunade with it, sending her flying. The time she coughs up blood, she can't even wake up yet. She's turning back to an old hag, but he just heals her. Wakes up, now it has to be Hokage. So, yeah. Moment now with her as Hokage, Sasuke retrieval mission doesn't happen because Sasuke's plenty strong, and Kakashi's talking him out of the curse of hatred. So that's going well on his part. And now we'd have to basically go into like the 2-year training. It didn't mean not wanting to record part 2 because I feel like hell. So I'm just going to keep going no matter how much pain I'm in. Seriously, and I hit my toe on my table. I have a headache. My nose is killing me. My throat's killing me. This shit is painful. Sorry if I'm talking so fast. I'm trying to get this over with so I can go to bed. But I don't want to end this what if randomly. But yeah, the 2 years training commences. Naruto and Jiraiya train together for 2 years. And, well, Naruto just trains with Jiraiya for 2 years. Rasengan's already mastered. Flying Raijin, not Flying Raijin. Well, I guess Flying Raijin could be mastered. He can learn every single jutsu in Konoha if he chooses to, and he does just that in 1 month. Like, he doesn't know how to use every single jutsu, even with his base chakra mixed with, obviously, Otsutsuki chakra mixed with his enhanced all 5 natures. He's able to learn every single jutsu that isn't clan, isn't like clan only. Or first off, he learns how to use the Byakugan a lot better. He gets like a scroll on how to use it. So they're able to learn every single jutsu that isn't dojutsu that you can't unlock yet. So he basically learns quite literally every single jutsu in Konoha. So yeah. Then due to just dry training so hard, plus going to Mount Miyoboku and Naruto chakra being so dense that nature energy can't pierce through it or go through it, Naruto can withstand nature energy just with his body alone. So Sage mode isn't really not an effort, but it's not like a problem for Jiraiya anymore after a bit of training. It's not a problem at all for Naruto, so it doesn't really matter at all. But Naruto deems himself too powerful for Sage mode and doesn't really use it at all. But then while learning Water Release, well, he accidentally summons Katsuyu at one point, but he'll just know her as a summoning. Sakura turns to Tsunade, and due to Sakura already being extraordinarily strong, she picks up the power she has at she can beat Sasori by the time she's 15. Now, by the time the story would actually pick up, she's probably on the level that she is near the war arc. So, yeah. But so Naruto has met Katsuyu, he's met the snakes, he's met the toads. He's met all those by accident. Well, not the frogs, but he's met every summon by accident. Well, the dogs don't count as accident. They're pretty cute, though. But Kazekage retrieval mission. Well, with that, Naruto heads out on it with Sakura and Sasuke. And Sasuke does show off his Kirin technique when they get near the whole door. But yeah, Sasuke shows off Kirin and annihilates the whole front door himself. Now this they break in. Gaara isn't dead quite yet, and Naruto actually kills Deidara himself. Well, he doesn't like killing someone before, but he does it because he knows it's necessary. He kills Deidara, Sasori fights Sakura, and loses horribly. And, Gaara is revived by Naruto healing him. They leave, and after around 2 hours, they get to the end of 2 hours, and Gaara's completely fine, even healed. So, yeah. The next arc will probably be the Tenichi Bridge, reconnaissance mission. So, they still get that information on it, and Yamato is the one chosen, because he can do better on what released Naruto. On the mission, Sakura describes the voice of Sasori, Yamato gets it perfectly, but then he has to fight Kabuto for a brief moment. With a brief moment, Kabuto trying to attack again, leads to him being, not killed, but everyone thinks he died because he was hit so hard in the chest. Every single rib is shattered, and he's sent flying and rolling across the ground. But then Orochimaru intervenes, attacking Naruto, as Orochimaru and Naruto fight evenly. Well, Orochimaru thinks things evenly when Naruto is holding back against him. But yeah, so they got the information they needed. Sasuke is not with Orochimaru, just say that. So I guess we can go to like the Akatsuki suppression mission, which is like Asuma, Shikamaru. But Shikamaru's a lot more powerful in this part of the story. So at least he's able to somewhat stay. He was able to somewhat like keep Kakuzu at bay and paralyze heat on him before he does a ninjutsu, which allows Asuma to stay alive actually. Well, not that Shikamaru having a few bruises and broken bones from Kakuzu escaping it occasionally. So yeah. So yes, after that would end the Akatsuki suppression mission. So what's the next arc? So Jiraiya versus Pain. Let me discuss that. Tsunade allows Jiraiya to go on the mission. And Jiraiya, well, nothing interesting happens. Itachi, well, I guess Sasuke would try to find Itachi, but well, doesn't really have a team to back him up. Doesn't have a team to back him up. So eventually, like, he does find Itachi, but Kisame is dead, so his partner's a random miscellaneous person. Not partner, but someone just random miscellaneous. And Sasuke does fight Itachi and still does kill him. Well, actually, no, he probably wouldn't. He's a lot weaker than he is in canon. Because he doesn't train with Orochimaru. So I don't think he's like a lot weaker, but still he's pretty weak. And before he can die, not Sasuke, but Kakashi saves him. Because, well, Sasuke is not an official Jonin yet, he's a Chunin. So Sasuke does get saved by Kakashi. Kakashi does recommend escaping. But suddenly, Kakashi begins coughing up blood. Sasuke thinks it's his doing until Kakashi reveals no, Sasuke's probably sick. They get the whole story from Itachi in this brief amount of time. And, yeah, it kind of doesn't rage Sasuke, but he doesn't know it's for the greater good of the village. Itachi then dies to a sickness, and Sasuke awakens to Mangekyo. Sasuke now having a Mangekyo Sharingan due to seeing his brother die, and now knowing the truth about Konoha. He wants to destroy it, but doesn't know he needs to save it, because that was his brother's goal, to save Konoha. While we go to Jiraiya versus Pain. Jiraiya is a perfect sage. He had a lot more time to train, because Naruto mastered Sharingan, he's a master at Taijutsu, he's a master with summoning. Mount Iboku's the last route to go through. So they get there, Jiraiya's a perfect sage. When he fights Pain, they look at the hands, even beats the Yayuko path, and beats all the animals. That was left up as Nagato. And Nagato's in sheer amazement at how strong Jiraiya is. Jiraiya offers to bring Nagato back to the Hidden Leaf, just so Nagato can live a normal life and be healed. But Nagato, he kind of hesitant about this, because, well, he's an Akatsuki. But still, it's still worthy to know that Naruto is now considering this. So, yeah. So, that kind of shoots up Jiraiya. Jiraiya leaves, doesn't get hurt at all. And, I guess the next arc is what? So, Five Kage Summit. This time, like, Tsunade replaces Danzo, but it kind of goes the same way, just... Now it's the Akatsuki attacking, not Sasuke. Well, Akatsuki plus Karin and Suigetsu and Jugo as the servants of Orochimaru. So I assume by the time Kimaru would have died, Sound 4 would be pretty useless, so... Yeah, Kimaru is dead, so Jugo, Suigetsu, and Karin. But Naruto and Tsunade is guarding this one, so it's Jiraiya. With this, when they attack, well, Naruto is pretty easily able to handle Jugo and Suigetsu. Well, then Sakura beats... Not Sakura, but Jiraiya would probably be able to beat Jugo, so Naruto would end up beating Karin and Suigetsu. With Orochimaru, he fights Naruto and finds out how outmatched he is, and ends up losing. So, yeah. But those not the Fourth Great Ninja War. They all leave. But Karin, Suigetsu, and Jugo stay. So this basically is headed farther, and it'd probably be like, the war arc, maybe? Or... Let me check. If I Kage Summit, the war arc. Yeah, the war arc. The war arc would still happen, but Naruto already controls Kurama pretty well, so all he has to do is befriend it. And I'd probably put it as the same way it goes in canon, just Naruto breaches through it. I guess the main difference would probably be Naruto versus the Raikage. First, Naruto will end up listening past A within his base form, then fights the other Raikage with, like, the third Raikage, I believe. Pretty sure it's third Raikage. When he fights him, well, Naruto beats it in one simple move. A full power Rasengan that's, like, the size of a mountain. Like, a Sage Driver Rasengan filled with Wind Chakra, it's the size of a mountain. And he does just that against the Raikage, and destroys him. As he's destroyed, he's getting sealed away. Then Naruto would encounter the meteors with Madara. With those, this case, Cloak is actually able to hold up a lot of the meteors. Then you should throw them back at Madara. Madara would dodge, or he could have left with the Susanoo. Naruto's clones handle them pretty easily. The rebel, that is. But I'm kind of tired still, and I got a lot tired in these like 8 minutes. So I'm gonna end up going. After talking so fast, I'm just trying to end this as fast as possible, but I'm tired still. So goodbye.